today in this video, I want to show you the ranking list of each of the legendary commanders, the pros and cons from each of them, and what my personal opinion about them is, and in which tier I would put them. And if you want to know more about them, then stick around and watch the video. Alright, guys. Watch the video. Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. Beast is my name, and today, as I said, I wanna show you the tier list of the legendary heroes. I'm gonna also make in the next days a tier list about the epic one, and then I'm gonna make one about everyone from season 1. So we have a clearly overview from the heroes and that you have my opinion about them. So as you can see, I already have prepared all of these pictures. And before we're gonna go to the actual tier list, let's jump back into the game and have a look on each of the commanders and what are they doing. At this point, I will not show any of these skills. If you want to know them, then watch in-game, please. That would take just too much time. We're just gonna have a quick overview and what are the pros and cons from each of the commander. So we have as first Lydia here. Lydia is a great open field mage march. She have a lot of AoE damage with her active skill, and she does heal up to 3 targets, a lot of magic damage, you see that, and then additionally hero skill damage also. Have a quite nice buffs here, I would say so. Attack and HP bonus, and here have also a probability to use again AoE attack. Overall, she's also pretty good for peacekeeping actually, since you have the peacekeeping tree. So for PvE moments where you don't have fighting anymore, I would suggest what I did, changing the talent to the PvE one, cause you get here at the top the war trophy with extra items if you defeat Darklings. Yeah. Alright, let's go to Kinara. Kinara is a legendary marksman PvP control hero. That is already insane. Like, the talent already by itself is like so insane. You have so many opportunity, or not opportunities, so much options here what you want to go for. I would suggest for the PvP to go control. If you have her as a mainly hero, and then secondary, for example, Nico, then for behemoth fighting, then do, in my opinion, this tree. Alright, let's go to her skills. So she does no AoE, but she do a lot of single attack damage and having a quite good debuffs. So she have here on her active skill, Feeble, that means decrease all damage VD by 50% for 5 seconds. Imagine that gonna hit a mage march, for example Lydia, and this Lydia deal 50% less damage for 5 seconds. That's a lot of damage. And if that gonna happen when she does her AoE skill, man, that's a lot of damage what she is missing there, and yeah, it's just insane. Then Kina will have a bunch of other skill debuffs, buffs, which is pretty awesome. Like, also here physical counter attack damage bonus increasing, and then her awakening skill is that with every normal attack, she have a 20% chance to inflict defense break on the target legion, reducing the defense by 20% for 3 seconds. That is actually insane, and that passive skill makes her also, in my opinion, one of the best commanders in the game right now, what we have. And you know, that is just insane. Not only passive, the overall kit, that you have control, PvP, marksman tree, and then all the skills are actually for PvP or for PvE. Could be also, you know, they all have an effect also for behemoth fight, for example, normal attack damage bonus increasing, that also have an effect when also the damage you do against behemoths. So she is great for PvE and PvP, and I don't know, she is just amazing. Alright, let's jump over to Velen. Velen is like Lydia, open field magic march or commander. which have also a control in PvP tree, which makes him already very, very high tier. Now, the control tree, it's just so OP, if I can show you why. So you have here at the end the tree. When you Legion cast a rage skill, they have a 25% chance to silence the target, preventing them from casting rage skills for 2 seconds. That is insane. And exactly because if you're fighting, for example, against other mage marchers and you do that, and they don't have that, and you prevent them exactly in the right moment from using 2 seconds their rage, in that 2 seconds you already can like prepare your next skill, like up to 200 rage, for example, while they just using it then, you know. And then we have the other tree here where you steal the fucking rage from enemy. So imagine you fighting against enemy mage marchers which are doing magic PvP, for example, and you go in control in magic, and you stealing rage from them and silence them. Holy shit, man. That is such insane. Like, for real. And then also his overall kit makes him really, really good. Like Lilia, he have an AoE damage skill, which is targeting multiple legions and do quite good amount of damage. And on top of that, having a march speed reduction means that the enemy target have 20% less march speed. And then he have also hero skill damage increase. His overall march speed is increased. By the way, really good for open field. For example, if you're getting targeted by 10 legions or 15 or 5, you know, it doesn't matter. But with that, you can prevent from getting surrounded and taking more damage. So you can again step out of a fight for a moment and then go back in, you know, to avoid getting the surrounded debuff. Yeah, then he have also hero skill crit rate bonus and a defense bonus, and then also a defense reduction and another march speed reduction. That's pretty good. And then his passive skill is a new skill. When casting a rage skill on the target that is thrown, Valen deals additional hero skill damage. That is insane, man. Like, that is really insane. So why did I mention actually Valen and Kinawa here more? But I said I will not go for every single skill. I mean, these two, we need to exactly know why they gonna have later the rank what I give them. And for you that you understand that why they're gonna have a high rank, is, I mean, I'm pretty sure the skills by itself already telling it. Then we have Horse. Horse, and also what I forgot about Lilia, Horse and Lilia both can only get buff in the VIP chest. So that means you need to actually pay for it, which is actually a good amount. The thing about them here is like, I don't look on that how you can get them, only the commander as itself. So we have Horse. It's was one of the first rally commanders you could have get in the game. He's doing no, or he's overall, so you can use him actually behind every march. The thing about that commander is that he is not dealing any skill damage, but he is giving very good amount of buffs here, as you can see. Attack bonus, HP bonus, damage bonus. Then he have also increased legion capacity, which makes your march again overall stronger. Yeah. Then we have Amos. Amos is a cavalry PvP mobility hero, which dealing a lot of single target damage. Overall, his skills are pretty good. You know, it's like not something special, but he's really, really good to target single target enemy marchers and, for example, killing with reinforcement. The same with Bakshi. The difference here with Bakshi is that he is a little bit tankier, in my opinion, when Ambrose, and he's also for peacekeeping. Very coming back to the point what I said about Lilia, that you can use him later as a primary for peacekeeping to get extra rewards if you're fighting against Darklings. Then we have Nika. Nika is infantry, peacekeeping, and skill hero, and she is actually really, really good. The thing about infantry is that infantry you want to have as a tank, right? As a frontline who take the enemy damage, who blocking the cavalry if it's possible. And the problem with Nika here is that she is not really that type of infantry commander. She's more like a assassin infantry, I would say. So she is doing a lot of damage and doing also debuffs. From her skills looking like, I would have actually said she would be better as cavalry commander. Because from her kit, it is not normal infantry because you don't have a single skill where you get tanky. You know, you don't have any defense or HP buffs like what we're gonna see, for example, from a maid line. But what her makes her special, like I said already, she's doing a lot of single target skill damage and also reducing the HP. And now think about, you have a Nika as a secondary commander in your infantry march. You're sending that fucking infantry march in there and you reducing the HP from the single target enemy infantry hero, and that infantry hero getting targeted by your other legion. So let's say you have a 5 march setup and you have her, reducing the HP. That is so insane for open field, really. And also overall kit is pretty good. Then we have Taya. Taya is like horse overall hero, PvP and support. So the thing is, she can be used behind every commander. The thing is just that it makes not really that much sense. Like when you would use her behind flying units. Like flying units, for example, Taya and 8 years is like pretty good and also very well used in the PvP scene. But yeah, she have the potential to be, for example, also secondary behind Alia or behind the Velen. That's for sure. But I would probably mention to use her more with flying units and the other flying hero instead of, putting her and wasting a good amount of buffs here. Alright. Garwood. Garwood is like probably the worst legendary commander in my opinion. So he is infantry, garrison, and tank, which makes him already from the talent tree looking really, really good as infantry, right? Garrison, also when you don't need that much, but if you need garrison, then it would be good to have a garrison tree. The thing or the problem about Garwood is that he is like Wishart and Wise of Kingdoms. If you maybe know Wishart and Wise of Kingdoms, you already understand why I have a problem with that. If you don't know what I mean, so the problem with Garwood, in my opinion, is that he is not doing any skill damage, right? He don't get a shield or something else. He is not doing any more damage over attack bonuses. Only the last one here I saw, physical damage deal bonus, 30%. But compared to Nika, for example, is he just not good enough. And the problem is also that he is doing healing. And the healing, the problem is that you're increasing your wounded troops. So in the PvP, you get wounded troops, right? And so let's say you have 200k and you're getting 50k wounded troops in this 200k battle. But with Garwood, that's gonna increase from 50k to let's 100k. So instead of 50k in your hospital, you have then already 100k. But you don't really do more damage, right? Because he is overall a commander, which is just tanky, no damage at all. Then we have Nico. Nico is a great commander. He is, like Kinara, a marksman, and having the precision, which is basically the tech tree, and you have engineering. And that's pretty interesting, because if you put him as a secondary, for example, behind Kinara, you can actually go for the talent tree here, engineering, and just build with that the Alliance towers and flags faster. Alliance towers and keeps, sorry. And the other thing what makes him really, really good is that he do a lot of single target damage. He breaks the defense from the enemy. He have an HP bonus, I think so. No, it was a defense bonus and an attack bonus. But his passive skill makes him really, really awesome also. Because when Nico's Legion launch a normal attack on a target Legion that already has a defense break, they have an 80% chance to deal additional hero skill damage. And if we remember back, Kinara with her Awakening skill is doing with every normal attack and having a 20% chance then to inflict a defense break. So, does that mean if you're gonna pair them and both are awakened, he doing a lot of more damage? Yes, it does. And we have also in the talent tree for Kinara, what I didn't show, a defense break skill. So, I don't know. That's why I said Kinara is like one of the best. With Nico, I think actually Kinara and Nico both awakened. I think that's the best hero pair what we have right now in the game. Because you do, yes, you're missing AoE, but the amount of single target damage you do, and plus that marksman doing more counter that damage, it's like so insane. When we have Indus, nothing to say about her. Gatewing. Then we have Maitline. Oh my god, that is a fucking beast. Okay, so Maitline is infantry, PvP, and tank hero, and she is insane. I don't know what the devs thought about her, but she is so fucking insane. So she does with her active skill, getting first of all 1200 shield and doing 20% more physical attack damage. Then you have increased legion capacity, physical damage bonus, you have a HP bonus, a counter attack damage bonus, and you have also skill damage, which is gonna happen when the shield brokens. So that is overtime 100% when you broke her shield, up to 3 surrounding legions getting skill damage. And then you have also a passive skill, which is basically putting a debuff on the last skill from her, reducing damage taken by 10% for 4 seconds. Holy shit, man. Imagine you using Maitline Nika as an infantry match. Bro, who the fuck wants to kill? Who the fuck wants to attack you? Who the fuck wants to kill you? You do so much counter attack damage bonus, first of all. When you are so tanky, you have a shield, you have skill damage, you have HP reduction. Holy shit, Maitline Nika. Bro, what? Holy moly, man. That is the best infantry or melee march what you can get in the game right now. For sure, man. For sure. Alright, we are 18 minutes on it. Let's switch over back to the tier list. Alright, so here we are back, guys. So I would say we're gonna start, well, of course, Inda's gonna be in Gathering, because she's Gathering, right? Alright, I would say we're gonna start from the lower tier. So who I think is low tier? I think at this point, really low tier and not really mentioned to use is Garwood. Like I already explained, the healing, all of that stuff makes him not really, really good. Alright, then we have Horst. I actually think Horst is pretty good for the beginning. I think with later seasons and people having the other commanders available, I think he lose a lot of options and opportunities and overall strength. I would actually could put him in high tier in like for season 1. But with the beginning of other seasons and also that we're getting new commanders, I've actually put him in mid tier. I think he's really good for what he's doing, and he probably also have a bot in a multiplayer March setup for the other season, but he lose overall a lot of strength when people have other commanders. Alright, then who I think is also in mid tier. I think, okay, so before so Lydia, Kinara, and Maitline, like I already mentioned, and actually Velen. I think they all are S tier at this point. They are super, super strong. Um, I think Nika and Nico are both high tier. Cause what they're doing is like pretty insane, and what the options they have, like Nika debuff, skill damage, counter attack damage buff. Nika having also the option to be in engineering, but still doing a lot of damage. And then we have only 3 left. I think at this point, Taya is good, but I don't think she is as good as other ones in high tier. So I'm gonna put her with Horse in mid tier. And then we have only Ambush and Bakshi left. They're both really, really good. The point is just if they are like as good as the S tier commander, or are they as good as the high tier commander? I think at this point, I think both are high tier. I think both are high tier. I think from what they're doing, for sure together they melting as a cavalry commander. But I think overall they are not as strange from these. Like the options and for that, like for example, Kinawa have more debuffs and like Ambrose. Ambrose have, if you go back to Ambrose, so he have single target just skill damage when his second skill is just getting more wage, and when his third is like physical attack and smart speed and damage dealt and heal skill dealt. He is for sure good, and also Bakshi, but I think both of them are just high tier in my opinion. I mean, if we compare, for example, a mate line to Ambrose and Bakshi, they all like weaker from just the skills, from the commander overview, Same as Velen, Kinara, the options what they're having, both having the control tree makes them already really, really high tier. And then the skills what they're having, holy shit. And then Lilia is just because you can get her actually kind of fast awaken if you have money. And she do a lot of AoE damage, and if you pair her, for example, with a Velen, holy moly, what a mage much you have. So at this point, I think that's the final resolution about the legendary tier list in season 1. I hope you have enjoyed that video, and I hope that have helped you maybe to maybe look on your March setup better, if you have planned now anything better. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Maybe let me know what your tier list would be. I'm gonna put also the link what you see in the top in the video description, so you can make the tier list by your own, and maybe share it on the Discords or share the link to other players who want also to make this type of tier list. And yeah, like I mentioned, in the next days I'm gonna make also one tier list about the epic commander, and then one final overview from the season 1 commanders with legendary and epics. Alright guys, stay healthy, and we see us on the next one.